or I'll snap the thread. Yep, just like that. I have to replace the axles on my E38, so let's get into it. I don't have a 2x4 handy, so this is what I have to do to get the jack under the differential of my car so I can get the whole rear end up. This is some eBay wheel press wheel bearing kit. And we come over here. Now I can finally get it under the trunk. I pulled the subframe out last year, new control arms. I did a wheel bearing on the passenger side because it was bad. Driver's side was okay, and the axle on the passenger side was such a pain to get out that I was like, I'm not touching this driver's side. And there's a long story about these axles that I got too, which I'll go into here in a minute, but I'm gonna get the wheel off and then we'll go from there. These things are a lot lighter than the Style 95s I had on the car before these. 5x114 studs, 5x120 for the bolts to hold it to the hub, made by Vargas Turbo, AKA probably made in China. But they work so far so good. So we don't question the China. This is a 750 IL axle, okay? It is beefier than the axles that I have in the car. I ordered the correct axles. I was sent the wrong axle by mistake. I ordered 2 axles off of eBay. The guy listed the 99 740i, part number, or sorry, VIN number, to verify everything was gonna fit my car. Yep, okay, great, ordered it. I get a couple of 750 axles, which, hey, that's cool because they're beefier. This diameter of this right here is 31 millimeters instead of 27, like on a 740 normally. The other difference is this bolt pattern here, okay? I'm gonna show you this. See this? Here to here is 102 millimeters on a 750 IL axle, except for a 2001 750 IL, in which case it would be 94 millimeters. 94 millimeters here was the diameter for 740 axles for like all of the years, except for 2001. In 2001, they made everything smaller for some reason when it comes to the axles. So what I have in my car right now is a 740 IL subframe that I picked up with a 740 Sport differential in it, which has a 3.15 gear ratio instead of the, I think, 2.93 that the regular ones have. The 750 cars have, I think, 2.73. It's really long. The interesting thing though is that the axles that are in the car are still from the 740 IL. This is like an axle stub. So this goes into the differential and then your axle bolts to this. So here's that 102 millimeter bolt pattern. So what I have in the car is a version of this that has an 86 millimeter bolt pattern, which is a 740 non-sport 2001 only, of course, my luck, with those matching axles in the sport differential. Yeah. So I went to go order axles. This guy shipped me 750 axles instead of 740 axles, which means that that axle stub that I had right there, that diff stub, I had to order those from my parts guy, and those cost me a pretty penny. But basically I needed those and the hardware. I'll show you the hardware. It's axle bolts, and then there's like a U-shaped washer that holds them together. So there's 3 of these, assemblies, if you want to call it that, 3 of these on each axle. So 6 bolts total, and then 3 of these weird looking washer things. You see it there. Now, I went on FCP and looked up the part number for the hardware here, part numbers, plural. In order to, if you were gonna order 12 new bolts and 6 new washers, it would be $355 from FCP to buy them new. So I ended up getting these axle shaft, or the axle stubs and the hardware for less than that, much less than that. So that was good. But that means I'm a few $100s into this axle change out, plus the tool. I had to get an axle tool, which I didn't have last year, and that screwed me, and that's why I'm in this situation right now, because I damaged the axle putting it in. So basically, I'm upgrading to 750 axles and stubs and hardware, which is cool because they're beefier, but my wallet's not happy about it. But long term, this is the forever car, so it gets all the good stuff. All right, so here's the axle bolts we've got to get loose, 6 of them. Also, as I was saying earlier, I damaged this axle last year, and it was also flinging grease all inside my wheel, so I rigged this up, and I'm a little proud because it has been holding perfect. And also, I'm a little like upset that I have to remove this because it's working so well. So anyway, let's get this axle out of here. For the 740s, these bolts are a E12, E as in Edward, 12. It's an odd external star pattern. Definitely not my favorite type of bolt. They can be a real pain. If you don't get the socket on there like perfectly centered, you're quite likely to strip it out. So you gotta be careful. It's pretty much kind of always been my rule. If I'm gonna be taking parts out, I'm gonna put a better one in. So I'm not exactly upset that I'm replacing these with 750 axles, but that logic has cost me a lot of money over the years. Oh, nice. It worked. Boom. Nice. So the other thing I messed up last year is I hammered on the end of this axle because I didn't have a tool. And I ruined the thread, so I had to order a 27 by 1.5 die to rethread the end of this thing, and thank heavens it worked. But with that being said, I now have a proper tool. Oh my God, it's working. It's working, yes. Oh, what pain is this? All right, so I'm getting to the point now where the axle is kind of unable to move because of the exhaust, which means I have to go move that. I'll be back. All right, I think I got it moved out of the way enough that I'll be able to get this axle out. We'll see. Just got a little bit left of the splines, and we're almost out. Okay, the lesson for today: buy tools for the job the first time, or it will come back to bite you in the ass when you have to buy them later to do the job anyway. Okay, so 740, right? 750. Might not seem like a huge difference, but it's a difference. I can tell you that. You can see this one's a lot thicker than this one. Yeah, big old beefy bastards over here. So I didn't get this part on video because I forgot, but I just put this V12 or 750 axle stub in. You literally just use a pry bar, pop the old one out, pop the new one in. There's the old one, small. There's the new one, beefy, 5-layer burrito. I like it. Let's get the new axle in. All right, so I got the new axle in. Sorry, there wasn't really much to film with that. I just had to slide it in from the back. Okay, so I figured out how to put this tool together. Never used one before, so I'm just figuring it out as we go here. Basically, you tighten this, and as you tighten it, it pulls the axle through using the threads as if you were pulling it with a nut, but you're not. So I was sitting here working, using this tool, thinking that I was not doing it properly or not making progress, and I just realized that I had it fully seated probably a few rotations in. It turns out it slid in pretty easy right from the start. I just expected more of a fight, so I'm sitting there like fighting with it for no reason. It was already all the way in. So boom, we're good. The end of the axle is in, which means I just have to get it bolted to the stub that we already put in the diff. So we take these little bolts here. They're not very pretty. I did not take the time to clean them up. I don't care. Oh yeah. Easy. Okay, next thing on the agenda is control arm bushings. Okay, I've got polyurethane control arm bushings from Strongflex out of, I believe, Poland. I'm going to show you the arms that they're going to go in here. All right, so it's going to be this bushing here. See these big lower control arms here. So it's going to be this bushing here, and then it's going to be the other side of it over there. There's a large eccentric bolt here that is your camber adjustment on the E38. On E39's camber adjustment is at the subframe over there and not at the hub here. Overall, these are pretty simple to remove. It's just those big 3 bolts, and then we've got the arm here, or the linkage for the windshield, or sorry, not windshield, the headlight level, right? So if the suspension is compressed in the rear, then it will aim the headlights down so you're not blinding people, etc., etc. So yeah, we're gonna get to doing this now. Okay. There. Easy enough. So because this eccentric bolt sets your camber adjustment, I just made 2 marks. I don't know if you can see, I made one there to line up with this mark, and then one here to line up with the point on this bolt. And that will help me set my alignment back again without having to go and re-get it aligned, because I mean, this shouldn't adjust my toe, so it's really just a small camber adjustment, which I'm not too worried about. It's not the end of the world. You can see my spider webs on the bottom of here. I obviously drive this car so often. Big old bolt. Look at that thing. Woo. So that's what adjusts your camber. Easy. It is actually like genuinely easy to get these out. So this is what we're looking at. So we need to tighten this so that it pulls this one through and into this cup. This cup, this 52 millimeter cup, is like starting to bend, I think. Let me see here. I see what the problem is. It's not that it was bending, it's that this rod is bending. I think my problem was the diameter was too small, or the diameter of the cup I was using was too big actually, and it was messing everything up. Because this is going smoothly now, so. Nice, very nice. Well, the bushing is on here. It's stuck on this threaded rod somehow. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, kind of messed the threads up on this rod a little bit, but there we go. Old bushing. Clean. Very good. All right, well, there's one. Okay. No. No. We're bending. Damn it. I knew this couldn't go that smoothly for me. So I'm trying something else, maybe a bit unorthodox. We're gonna see. Right now I have the cup on only the rubber on the inside of this thing, on the inside of this bushing. where's my old bushing? I have the cup, you know, in this area. So basically I'm thinking one of two things is either going to happen. Either I'm going to tear the whole center section out of it, in which case that's fine. I can use one of these beefy ones instead, and obviously I'll get it out that way. Or finally there will be enough tension on the rubber pulling on the outer thing that it will finally pop it and move it. So we're going to see. But this has been a battle on this stupid 10 mil one. I really thought the bigger one was going to be the problem, but nope. That one came out easy. Or I'll snap the thread. Yep, just like that. Okay, so I got it out. Took some fighting. I ended up having to drill through it, cut it with the Sawzall, hammer it out, chisel it out, whatever you want to call it, and then... okay, well, time to put the new bushings in this arm, and I get to do this all over again. Yay! From what I've been told, these polyurethane bushings should just slide right in pretty easy. I am going to I am going to grease everything. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you can never have too much grease in a situation like this. Look at that. Slides right in. Look at that. Oh my God. That is such a welcome sight compared to everything that I have been fighting with over the last few hours. And then this one should slide in there like that. Yeah. Okay. I love when things just work the way they're supposed to. Ah, look at that. Oh my God. So easy. See? Very nice. Very nice. I was going to go with the black bushings, but they wanted like an extra $20 for them, and I was like, yeah, literally no one will see this, so who cares? But my least favorite color in the world is yellow, so. All right, let's put this control arm back in. One in first. Yeah, there we go. Yep, that's better. Okay, those ones up. But now the battle is going to be getting the bigger one on. Okay, I got it up in there. YouTube is not a huge fan of swear words, so you did not see that part happen. But trust me, there were several. Starting to take weight off of the jack stand now, so it's basically where it's going to be. So I don't want to jack it up completely because that gets a little sketchy being under here. So I really hate being under cars, honestly, which is not great given my current hobby of being obsessed with cars my whole life. So, you know. All right. Off to the other side. Well, the bushings are in on both sides. Install was easy. I just got to get a video of driving with them on so you guys can see if there's any difference. I want to see if it helps my wheel hop issue that I've had. I'm really hoping so. And I'll do an update video.